Hello. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Redefining the Significance of You Time for You, by you, because of you. My name is Denise Drinkwalter, and I am a midlife renewal coach supporting women worldwide to lean into and realize the importance of you. This channel aims to provide you, the viewer, with some takeaways that will help you shift, change, reevaluate, and/or become way more aware of what is possible for you. We have a variety of fantastic guests sharing life experiences that have helped them become the incredible human beings that they are today. Every one of us, sometime in our lives, have had that infamous free time, wondering, feeling guilty, embarrassed, and sometimes plain wrong for taking out time for ourselves. No. We are here to help change that and support you to see what is possible for you when you take the time for you, by you, because of you. It is such a pleasure and an honor to have Jacqueline Perez back to our show again today. She came on our show, I checked the notes, and we had an incredible conversation just shy of 2 years ago. She came on the show in 2023, January 10th. Imagine that. And we connected again, and I said, yes, let's talk again. Jacqueline is a trailblazing pro-aging champion and the visionary founder of Cool Life, a transformative digital platform dedicated to normalizing and celebrating women's aging. Through carefully curated content and women-driven brands, Jacqueline and her platform empower women in midlife and beyond to embrace this vibrant phase of life with confidence and joy. She has over 65 global expert thought leaders that contribute to Cool Life, and Jacqueline ensures that her audience receives actionable, relevant insights tailored to the unique challenges and opportunities of this stage. From navigating menopause to redefining purpose after major life transitions, her work touches on every aspect of midlife, offering practical guidance and heartfelt support. Jack brings over 7 years of experience in the women's midlife space, having organically built Cool Life into a thriving community through grassroots efforts and word of mouth connections. Her impact is undeniable. Thousands of women have benefited from her wisdom, with hundreds deeply influenced by her presence at conferences and summits. Before founding Cool Life, Jacqueline was an accomplished entrepreneur as the owner and partner of a boutique marketing and PR firm in the Bay Area. With decades of experience as a change maker and advocate, Jack now dedicates her efforts to addressing the questions that keep women up at night. Hands up if you've had these ones. How do I navigate menopause? What do I wear to feel confident in my own skin? How do I rebuild after a 30-year marriage? Her work is more than a platform, it's a movement. And with exciting expansions and collaborations on the horizon in 2025, Jack's influence will only continue to grow. Please join me in welcoming the most incredible human, Jacqueline Perez, to our show today.
After that, I think I'm just gonna say goodbye. I don't even know. I think I just need to be quiet and not potentially ruin that.
You know what? I love how when people hear how I put it together, when I have all my guests answer 6 simple questions, and then I create the intro from their answers, and it's absolutely hands down, people go, wait a minute, who is that?
Yeah, no, I'm over here going, man, I want to meet that woman. That's a really cool woman she's talking about. Who is that?
You get to look in the mirror and go, that is me. And isn't that empowering? Isn't that what we want to do for women globally? Wow, that's
Absolutely.
me?
I know I need to have what you wrote, so you need to send that to me
I
because
will
I'm gonna
send.
leverage that, my friend. That is, I'm like, holy cow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Amazing. I had to laugh when I looked back at the history that we've had, and I was like, that was 2 years ago. Doesn't time just disappear through our fingers?
It does. It does. And it seems that someone has found the 3x button. You know, the thing when you listen, I don't know about you, but I cannot watch a YouTube video on 1x. I've got to put it at least at 1.5 or 1.75, but I would prefer my life not to go at that
Yeah,
speed.
I
But
know.
yeah, it's insane. That was 2 years ago.
I know. I know. And I'm so excited because I know that you've put, I can't even begin to explain what I think you've put into a brand new book that you have out that has got your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions. I mean, I've read some of the poems that you have in that book, and wow, does it ever connect me to things that I have not thought about for a long time or new possibilities. So please, 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 will you share this incredible book that you've put together and how it came to be? What happened? What was the process? What's your journey?
Yeah, so I'll show you the book. Whoa, there we go.
Right there, there.
It's called Metamorphisis in Stanzas. And it truly is about my personal metamorphosis in midlife and beyond. But here's the deal, and what I'm hearing from the women who are currently reading it is that there's so much in here. I'm getting things like, oh my God, I thought I was the only person who thought that, or I felt less alone, or wow, that was really inspirational. And I feel so much better about this situation now. And I address a lot of the circumstances that seem to be around at this stage of the game, meaning body image issues,
Hmm.
empty nest or parenting adult kids, losing losing a lifetime pet, right? A lot of us have had pets for 18, 19 years and now they're dying off and they've been part of the family. And how do you grieve that loss?
Hmm.
Um, Tending long relationships. Some of us have been in really long relationships. They're not as exciting or sexy anymore. You know, sometimes the grass looks greener someplace else. Is the grass greener? You know, so I address a lot of these topics. One of my favorite is, and this is actually kind of a funny story. I didn't realize this, but over the last few years, every time my partner would make dinner, and he would say, "Do you want a salad?" and I would say, "No, I don't want a salad. No salad."
Yeah.
And even if there was salad at the table, unless it was very interesting, like it had like blue cheese, you know, like it had to have something in it, I wouldn't eat it. And it finally occurred to me that the salad was repressive to me. It reminded me of being young and constantly worried about how I looked and eating, you know, iceberg lettuce with lemon juice on it as an excuse for a
Hmm.
meal. And I wrote a poem about that, about the weight of those leaves and how I finally shed the weight of those leaves. And I'm a better person for it. And I have found happiness about that. And screw the salad. You know, if you don't want to eat a salad, don't eat a salad.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And so what ended up happening, Denise, is I travel a lot, and I was
Hmm.
in Istanbul for a month in August, and I was processing a lot of changes in my life.
Hmm.
My son had been struggling. He's
Hmm.
22 and he had been struggling with school. He'd been struggling with life choices, choices that
Yeah.
I had preferred he was making
Yep.
differently, but I
Hmm.
had to keep my mouth shut. And I think any mom out there knows how painful. And so I actually wrote a poem about that called Untethered Threads, because now, even though I feel like he's tethered to me, threaded to me, I have to behave as if it's untethered. And I
Right.
have to be quiet and just wait for him to ask. But I was dealing with some of that. I was also dealing with the loss of a big relationship in my life, and my closest family member, my sister, who's my best friend, was moving. It just felt like a ton of
Yes.
loss. I had some hits business wise, and
Hmm.
I was just like, I turned 60, and turning 60 near about ran me over. Near about ran me over, which is
Hmm.
weird because I'm healthy, I'm in great shape. I can look in the mirror. I mean, there's nothing wrong with me. I'm
Right.
60. There's
Right.
nothing wrong with
Yeah.
me. This is what 60 can look like, feel like, behave like. But I was really struggling with that label, that
Hmm.
label. And when I got back from Turkey, I got into this really deep depression
Mm.
and found myself awake at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. Partly was jet lagged, right? But
Sure.
then I found myself like in the closet, away from people, writing poetry
Mm.
to let it out. I needed some way to let it out. So are you gonna, this begs the question, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
How long have I been writing poetry? Right?
Right.
Is this the thing I've been doing my whole life?
Right.
First time ever I ever wrote a poem outside of being forced to in high school.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure I was forced to by my English teachers. I can't imagine that
Yeah.
there wasn't some sort of poetry writing at 15 or 16, however old.
Right.
But of my own volition, I
Yeah.
had no idea it was in me.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, Denise, I'm writing a poem every day for 30. And then I said, okay, I'm going to do one every day for 30 days and see what happens.
Yeah. And there it is. I love that.
Yeah.
You were able to create an opportunity that allowed you to process your journey in the way that matched best for you without you even understanding how empowering that would be, A, for you, by you, because of you. And now you're seeing incredible opportunities to connect with other women and hearing their stories and opening up and helping them see you are not alone, right?
Yeah, and it's funny because I'm a writer. I mean, I've been writing most of my life, and I write this this essay called Jack's Smack, and I've written
Right,
hundreds of them, and they're actually on Cool Life. You could find them, and I've written all about, you name it, I've written about it. Solo traveling, emptiness, dry vagina, there. And I'm a
right.
tongue-in-cheek kind of writer, and
Yeah,
I'm a little sarcastic and a little
yeah,
irreverent. But you know how we were talking about how fast life is going and how
yeah,
the super speed? There's a part of me that can't even write essays anymore because it takes so long. And so I
yeah,
have even gotten to this like, okay, if I can say it in a poem, if I can say it in, 25 words rather than 1,200 words,
right.
why wouldn't I do that?
Yeah.
And it turns out that
Mm.
I'm pretty good at it. Who
Amazing,
knew? Who knew?
right?
But it's funny because I
Yeah.
even wrote a poem that's not in the book about why I don't write essays anymore and I write
Okay.
poems. And it's actually kind of a funny poem about how I am no longer interested in lots of words. I'm interested in getting my point across in an economy of words. Sort of like
I
that
love that.
Mark Twain quote,
Yep.
sorry, this letter is so long, I didn't have time to write you a shorter one, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I love
Yeah.
that. I love that because when you referenced your son and him going through changes and struggles, what I loved hearing was that you are mirroring your own growth journey, which can be linked to his need to start to move and figure out life in a new way. And I love that you have recognized and seen you're still attached. We're always attached to our kids, but how much impact we have in that connection if we release it and let them do what they need to do, always being there for the support, but not the interference. What happens to us as moms? We step into more and more of our understanding and developing ourselves into who we are, going back and understanding this is what I know of, understanding our identity in a new way instead of through the roles that we play, right?
The irony of the situation, and I can see the irony now that I'm on the other side, is
Sure.
that I've been in this midlife space helping other women and writing about empty nest and talking to other women about their process. And some women do better than others. Some some
Mhm.
people do
Yep.
great day one and then do terrible day two, and then it's a roller coaster.
Sure.
But I thought I was inured to that because I was in it all the time.
Yeah.
But my son leaving pulled the rug out from underneath me in such a subtle way.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see that that's what it was. And I had some mitigating circumstances when he moved away. I
Sure.
got into a terrible skydiving accident the day he was leaving for college and broke my back in 3 different places. And so, A, I didn't get to take him to college. B, I didn't get to process that grief and that loss because I was focused on healing. I was focused on,
Mm-hmm.
am I going to walk again? Am I going to, you know what I mean? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so it was after all of that that here's the thing with grief, right? We can get distracted purposefully or not
Yeah.
purposefully. We can avoid, we can compartmentalize, we can do all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And all that does is delay the
Right.
process. The
Yeah.
grief, the grief is still there waiting patiently, just still waiting. It's going, okay, she'll get around to me eventually.
Yeah.
And what I realize now on the other end of it, part of it is getting it all out in this flippin' book, is that I really lost my identity for a while.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No longer actively parenting and no
Mm-hmm.
longer being actively involved in the management and the guidance of another human life, that being taken away.
Mm-hmm.
And in a good way, right? You want that. If you did a
Of
good
course. Yeah.
job, I heard somewhere, and I don't remember who said the quote, but I heard somewhere that if you are a successful mother, you become irrelevant. Your job is to become
Yep.
irrelevant.
Absolutely.
It
Absolutely.
sucks. I'm becoming irrelevant and it kind of sucks.
What it does is it allows that time and space, if you so choose, or if you're catapulted into the opportunity to do more metacognition and self-reflection about who you are. I know I ask a question a lot of clients, when's the last time you remember being fully you? Not the wife, not the mom, not the sister, not the fully you. And that really helps people step back and go, ooh, was I ever fully me? What does that mean? Who am I? And it starts the ball rolling in terms of, and everybody's journey is so unique. And that's what I love about the book that you've created, because even though your journey is so unique and those words are from your experience and your heart and your soul, it shows how we are still connected, right?
Well, what it shows, and now the more I hear back from the women who have the book and are reading it, it's not that we're just connected. It's how similar we are.
For
We
sure.
are far more similar to one another than dissimilar. We have way more likeness, and unfortunately, we as humans tend to focus on what's different
Mm,
about us rather than what's common or where our Venn diagram is with other humans.
right.
And I love that this book, I'm starting to hear back that it feels like I've found that Venn diagram
Mm,
um, for many women. And I don't know if you know this, because I don't know if I gave you an electronic copy or if I just gave you some poems. But what I did, which is a little different in this book, because I really wanted to get the message across,
mhm.
I recorded every poem in my closet. And every poem in this book has a QR code,
Oh,
a
nice.
QR code that you, as the reader, if you want me to read the poem to you, so you can
Nice.
hear it in my voice, you can do that.
I love that.
And what I'm hearing is that that really brings across the
Yeah.
true message,
Yeah.
because I use pacing and inflection, and that seems to be resonating with women.
I bet it does, because
Yeah,
there's an energy behind your
yeah,
reading, because you're so connected to it. It's your work. I
yeah.
love that. What a brilliant idea. You?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. It's not a fancy in a studio recording. Literally in my closet,
Yep.
on the floor, with, I had real headphones or whatever, but I
Yeah.
used my Apple, and it's
Yep.
put it on a shared drive and created the QR codes, and I'm like,
Yep.
done. Let's see
Yep.
what happens.
I
Because I
love that.
really wanted to get that message
Yeah.
in my voice. If a woman wants it in,
Yeah.
hear it and feel it,
Yeah.
I thought it
Love that.
would make a difference. So yeah.
Yeah. And what you're hearing is it does.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure. I love that. Congratulations on everything that
Thank you.
you have done, that you have moved through, because the world is a better place because of your experiences and how you've taken those experiences. And I don't like using this term, but people will understand it, and how you've come out the other side. I don't feel that we need to come out the other side because it sounds like a rush job.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like survival. Well, we're way more important than just surviving here, folks, right?
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, we are here to thrive and to live our lives in full capacity, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and it all comes together. And I encourage you, we have in the show notes Jack's book and how to access by getting your pre-order copy. And all of that is in the show notes, and I will make sure that I have the title of the book, Metamorphosis by stanza, in stanza,
In
in
stanzas.
stanza, in stanzas, right?
Do we have
Yep,
time for me to
we
read one?
do. Please
Okay.
read the one that really like pops for you for whatever reason.
Well, I think this one's relevant to our
Beautiful.
conversation and to your
Perfect.
audience. And I think
Perfect.
it's called A World in Three Crayons.
Mm.
In life, we dream of vibrant hues, a box of crayon, vast to use. The 152 with colors bright, each shade defined, each line just right. With built-in sharpener to hone, we'd craft a masterpiece, our own. But often fate hands us a pack, three waxy crayons, colors lack. No goldenrod, no midnight blue, just red and green and one askew. With crayons from a diner's tin, we fight the fight with what's within. No time to sharpen, no grand display, just scribbles made in shades of gray. We armor up with what we hold. Our tools are weak, but hearts are bold. And though we wish for hues untold, for palettes rich with silver, gold, we face the world with what we've got and hope to color life's blank spot. So here we stand, our crayons worn, with simple tools, our spirits torn. Yet in these lines, rough and undefined, a deeper beauty we still find. With just three crayons, dull and bare, we sketch our stories, choose to dare. Though colors bleed and lines mislay, the heart remains in light and play.
Oh, I love that. Oh, thank you. Beautiful.
Thank you.
There it is. There it is.
Even if you have
Love
three
it.
crayons,
Yeah.
you can color your life however you want. Because sometimes we don't get the goldenrod or the midnight blue. Sometimes we are stuck with that waxy
Yeah.
three crayon box, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. But you are the crafter behind the colors, no matter what colors you're given. Yeah.
Exactly.
Love
Exactly.
it. So make sure you do for you, by you, because of you, because there's nobody better than you on this earth. So thank you, Jack, for this incredible conversation and your time and energy spending it here with us. Make sure you check out the book in the show notes and pre-order your copy today. Any parting words that you want to share with the audience that
Just that if you are listening to this and you are mired in pain or circumstances, and you can't see the other side, and maybe you don't even know why you're in the spot, take it from someone who just recently got to the other side and now can look back and that whole hindsight 2020 thing. Just stay the course. Stay the course and believe in yourself, and little pieces at a time, little bites at a time. Try not to, if it's too hard to look that far in the future, then don't. Just look right in front of you. Just take the next right step, the next step that feels good to you. Don't worry about step 10 or 20 or 100, because that can be paralyzing.
I think something that comes through from what you just shared was brilliant, but it has to feel right for you. So don't look outside for your answers. And Jack is a perfect example of that. In her closet, when she was going through hell and back, she had to get it out. That's what resonated in her body. We're not saying run to your closet and write a bunch of poetry. What thing feels good for you in this moment is the key.
Yeah, and it's definitely not because I thought it'd be a commercial success. As a matter of
course.
fact, I'm getting a lot of poetry. Oh, poetry. I'm like, well, that's what came out, people.
Yeah.
Maybe, it's like, that's what happened. That's what came out.
Yeah. And the beautiful thing, I think that is really key, is you don't have to defend it to anybody. You never have to defend who you are or what is coming through for you. You just need to honor yourself and your soul and your love for you. And when you do that, everything shifts and change as it needs to, when it needs to. Believe that that will happen. Right? Yeah. Thank you so much. An honor to share space with you always.
Right back at you, Denise. Yeah.
Have a great day, everyone, and reach out and check the show notes. Make sure that you do anything and everything for you, by you, because of you today, even if it's only for a very short period of time, because that can help shift your energy very quickly. Take care, everyone. Bye.